Okay, welcome to another video of Math Tutoring Live, step by step. Hey, math is easy step by step. Today I'd like to go over order of operations. With order of operations, we're talking about PEMDAS. Now, you're going to need to memorize this for the GED or any standardized exams. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's a pretty good way to try to remember these order of operations. Parentheses, you want to do everything inside the parentheses first, right? So these are some examples of parentheses that you might see. You want to do everything inside the parentheses first. Sometimes you can't perform any operations inside the parentheses, but you must try to do that first. E stands for exponents, okay? Here you can see E, exponents. That is your second, right? If you've performed everything inside the parentheses, you perform the operations, then next you would do the exponents, right? X to the third power, 5 to the second power, Z to the invisible 1 power. Those are all examples of exponents, right? Thirdly, it's kind of a tie. You would multiply or divide. So if it is a tie, that means all you have left to do is to multiply or divide for your problem. Then in a case of a tie, you want to work left to right. Left to right. After you multiply or divide, of course, you would want to add or subtract. That's the fourth. Add or subtract. Again, if it is a tie between the two, that means all you have to do is add or subtract in the problem. Then you will work from left to right. Okay, let's take a look at some examples. I've created some examples for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those. PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? That's a great way to try and remember the order of operations. Things you do first versus things you do last, right? First, second, third, or fourth. So here's an example problem. We have 80 plus 20 inside the parentheses plus 60 divided by 3 inside the parentheses plus the square root of 16. So you're going to want to try to do everything inside the parentheses first if you can. I know 80 plus 20 is 100 plus 60 divided by 3 is 20. And then you're just going to bring down the plus and the square root of 16 like you see here. So again, the first thing you do, parentheses are first. Now you simplified everything inside the parentheses. Second are exponents. And since a square root, like you see here, square root of 16, is the inverse or the opposite of the exponent, you'd want to do that next. So what is a perfect square of 16? I know 4 times 4 is a perfect square of 16. So I'd simplify that square root of 16. I have a perfect pair of 4s. I can pull 1 4 out of that square root, and I'm going to end up with 100 plus 20 plus 4. I'm going to work left to right here since it's all adding, and I get 124. So in this problem number 1, the third step would have been adding these 3 terms. All right, let's take a look at another example I have here for you. Problem number 2. Set this up so you can see this here. 2 times parentheses 2 plus 5, close parenthesis, minus 2 to the second power divided by 2. So order of operations, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The first thing you want to do are parentheses. So 5 plus 2 is 7. And everything else I'm just going to rewrite. The 2, the times, minus 2 to the second power divided by 2. The second thing we do in order of operations are the exponents, right? So I'm going to simplify that 2 raised to the power of 2. So 2 raised to the power of 2 simply means 2 times 2. Everything else I'm just going to rewrite. That's what you see with these arrows. And 2 times 2 is 4. So you can see here, I wrote down the 2, I rewrote the 2, the times, the 7, the minus. The only thing I performed was the exponent. 2 times 2 is 4. And I wrote down the division, and then I rewrote the 2. So here it looks like we're in a tie, right? So the third step in the order of operations is multiply or divide. And because you see both operations here, you work from left to right. So 2 times 7 is 14. I just bring down that minus sign. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And the last step here, the fourth step, is add or subtract. So 14 minus 2 gives me an answer of 12. I got another set of problems I've done for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Again, PEMDAS, order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses are first, then exponents, then multiply, divide, then add and subtract. All right, here's some more example. Example 3. You have 5 plus 4 raised to the second power minus 8 divided by 2 times 3. So again, the first thing I want to do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses stands for P. You want to simplify everything inside the parentheses. Then you're going to do exponents, multiply or divide, then add or subtract. So 5 plus 4, parentheses, inside the parentheses. 5 plus 4 is 9. And everything else I just rewrite. The power of 2 minus 8 divided by 2 times 3. I just rewrite everything you see. What's next? Well, the second thing we do is exponents. And then everything else I just rewrite. That's the arrows that you see here. So 9 squared, or 9 to the power of 2, means 9 times 9, which is 81. And then I just bring down the minus, the 8, the division, 2, multiplication, and the 3. And in here you can see it's a tie. I have 8 divided by 2 and 2 times 3. So I'm going to work from left to right. I'm going to rewrite the 81. I'm going to rewrite the minus sign. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I rewrite the multiplication sign, and I'm going to do that next, right? Working left to right because the multiplication and the division was a tie. Now, in this next step, I'll multiply, working again left to right. 4 times 3 is 12. So 81 minus 12, fourth step, add or subtract. 81 minus 12 is 69. And finally, I've got another quick example here, problem number 4. And again, remember these recorded videos, you can rewind, pause, fast forward at any time. So problem number 4. We have 3 plus 1 raised to the power of 2. Those are inside the brackets. Raised to the power of 2 plus 9 minus the square root of 25. 3 plus 1, parentheses are first. So 3 plus 1 is 4. And everything else I just rewrite. Next, I do exponents. So 4 to the second power is 4 times 4, which is 16. Again, everything else I just rewrite. Okay? So here you can see 16 plus 9 minus the square root of 25. Here I don't have any parentheses. I don't have any exponents, but look here. The inverse or the opposite of an exponent is the square root. So I'm going to simplify the square root first. Then there'll be a tie between adding and subtracting. I'll move from left to right in order to solve the problem. So the arrow here means the next step. Square root of 25 is a perfect square, 5 times 5. So I can free up one of these values from the radical, which gives me, if you follow me over here on the left side, 16 plus 9 minus 5. Right? I can pull one value. If square roots are unfamiliar with you, please review my video. I've uploaded on simplifying square root values. So here we have a tie from left to right, right? Remember, step 4, or the fourth step in the order of operations, is add or subtract. So when there's a tie like this, you go from left to right. 16 plus 9 is 25. Then you'll subtract 25 from 5, and that gives you a solution or a value of 20. Hey, this has been Math is Easy Live, tutoring step by step. Hey, math is easy, step by step.